What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Durs and Efrum from the Link Up. What's going on with Real Madrid? New head coach. Was Xabi Alonso right to step down? Premier League. Is everybody choking? What's going on? Does everybody just want Arsenal to win the league? And Champions League. We're back with Champions League after a huge break. Efrum, what were you saying about Real Madrid? I know you made a little video about Xabi Alonso, potential Liverpool, um, swap over to Liverpool. What's your take on this? What do you feel?
Man, come home, baby, come home, Xabi. You know where home is at. Arnie Slot, man, I don't think he's him. Too boring right now. Too boring. Last year was more exciting. This year, maybe last season was Jurgen Klopp's team putting in the excitement. Now it's straight Klopp or Slot, and it's boring, bro. We need that Leverkusen spirit, that spark, that German efficiency, baby. Why not do it back where you started? So I'm Team Xabi Alonso to Liverpool all day. I would take him right now if it were the case. Sorry, Slap. You're just not him. Yeah, that's a little two piece. As far as what's going on in Real Madrid, I don't really know. They put Arbeloa in there. I don't know if he's gonna be there temporarily, a few games, the rest of the season. Are they cooking up on somebody else? Is Zidane coming back? Um, are they gonna get Osvaldo Sanchez as goalie? I don't even know at this point what's really going on. So it's just like, who's got the answers? Really? Who's got the answers? Because I surely don't. And yeah, I mean, Arbeloa comes in and they lose 3-2 against a second division team, right? That was second division.
Yeah, relegation zone team.
Jesus Christ, man. You had one job. You had one job and you fucked it. And now, I mean, you can't really blame him for coming in and, it's the players at the end of the day doing the playing. Like you should be able to have enough professionalism and skill to, hey, we could play soccer and score and win. Fuck it, we play Sunday League all the time. And you put us in a game with no real coach, we're gonna figure it out. We could do it, they could do it. So no excuses there. Poor, poor, poor from Real Madrid. You can't blame Arbeloa for this. He has done zero tactic changes, doesn't know the ins and outs yet. And yeah, too soon. Either way, I don't even know who's Arbeloa coach before this.
He's just been coaching like Castilla, the youth,
Castilla, right? Like
the
the
youth,
B team.
the youth teams. He won the league with the under-19s, but I mean, it's under-19s. That doesn't really tell me much about who you are as far as being like a coach and stuff. How you could deal with the egos of Mbappe, Vinicius, Jude Bellingham, these players. I think overall, I think this is a terrible decision from Florentino Perez. Um, I mean, Xabi Alonso was that guy. He was a proven coach. He wasn't just some random guy or just an ex pro who came up and he was coaching the youth squad and they gave him his opportunity. No, he earned this opportunity. Did amazing things in Germany, and whoever gets him is definitely gonna, be a big club. I think if they give Xabi Alonso that full autonomy to really make decisions, which Real Madrid didn't, and give him the respect that he deserves, there's no team that won't succeed with him being coach. And I think it would be really cool to see that the Premier League with if Xabi Alonso goes to Liverpool, just having Mikel Arteta, Spanish coach, also from the Basque area, just like Xabi Alonso. Obviously, Pep Guardiola, Spanish coach. And then Bournemouth also, they have a Spanish coach. A lot of Spanish influence onto the game. I think that was mostly Pep Guardiola's doing, but I mean, it'd be cool to see nonetheless. But overall, terrible decision in my opinion. I think that Florentino Perez is giving the players too much, I guess, authority or power over him. There was always the talks of he never wanted to miss out on the potential Neymar, so he would always buy these Brazilian wingers in hopes that they would be the next Neymar because he felt like that he didn't do the right thing by getting Neymar when he had the opportunity. And so now I think that he's operating out of fear rather than, being in control. And I think that he's giving the players way too much power. And I feel like this was something to do with Vinicius and Jude Bellingham. I really rate Jude Bellingham. I do. And these could all just be rumors, and it just could all be us, reading the situation the wrong way. But I guess a lot of sources have said they were kind of the loudest ones in the locker room, kind of against Xabi Alonso's style. And then you go on to him leaving, and Jude Bellingham and Vinicius are the only two players that don't give him a farewell. I mean, it's kind of obvious the sentiment that they had towards Xabi Alonso. And I mean, it's a weird situation because the fans are the ones that are most vocal about it, that they're against this. Jude Bellingham and Vinicius were booed in their last game where they won 2-0. And to be honest, this last game, like you mentioned, they got kicked out of the cup 3-2 to a second division team. Then in the league, they win 2-0. You would think, oh yeah, starting to get their stuff together. But it was a penalty that was a really, really debatable penalty. I'm a Real Madrid fan. I'm not afraid to say it. I don't think that was a penalty. And then the second goal comes from a corner kick where they try to do that where you touch the ball a little bit after the ref whistles to like basically saying it's in play. And the ref said, "Oh no, they haven't played it. They haven't played it." So the defender couldn't go and try to take the ball, And then they score off of that. So two very controversial goals from two set pieces, not from open play. So it symbolizes to me that the system isn't really working. And I don't think Arbeloa is your guy. The only person that can fix this is Zidane. But would Zidane take this job knowing that his legacy is immaculate, going into such a sticky situation? Like you're just potentially you're putting your legacy at risk here. And I feel like Zidane is somebody who's who's been able to create this legacy, this legend status for himself that is just one of the greatest players to ever do it and just one of the most respected players. So all in all, I mean, Xabi Alonso out was a terrible decision on my end. I think he was a good fit for Real Madrid if you gave him the right parts and the right respect. But now it's just going to be somebody else who's going to be able to reap the rewards of Xabi Alonso's football IQ.
All right, all right. Zidane would be a good shout though. If he dares to come back and do what he did before, just a quick three-peat of Champions Leagues, would be nice, wouldn't it? Besides that, I mean, I heard Mourinho. Who knows how true these rumors are, but supposedly they want Mourinho back, which would be an even stricter manager than what Xabi Alonso was. So no more partying, no more of that, no more freedom bullshit. Marino will stop all that. So we could see another similar situation as Xabi Alonso. So I don't think they should go after Marino. um, but yeah, that's been Real Madrid. We'll see how that story rolls out. But moving on to the other side, right above Spain, we're going to Europe, or no, I'm sorry, Europe, England, with the Premier League, because this past game week, all the top four teams drop points. All right, nobody wants to win this league. This league is shit. All the teams there in shit. Arsenal's top of it. That's how you know something's going wrong. And yeah, United just beat City 2-0 after United, possibly one of the worst seasons they've had, which somehow they're still fifth. They're still fifth. They just sacked the manager. Carrick comes in. He has a perfect record with Man United for some reason. He plays 2-3 games, wins, beats tough teams. Last time it was Arsenal, now it's City 2-0. Should he get the shout? Should he get the chance to maybe he knows something that the other managers and players don't know? Because how do you come in and after what Amorim has done and you beat City 2-0 when City's in the title race, they want to win these games. Yeah, I mean they haven't had the best of season either. I think they just tied last game week. But to Man United, who has been poor, arguably, and you can't even score, and you have the top goal scorer of the league. So, what's really going on there? Is it a City thing? Are United just needed a different coaching, or was good? Should Carey get the chance? I'm saying why not? Give him the chance. He still hasn't lost. Like maybe he does know something other players don't know, you know? So who really knows? Liverpool tied to Burnley 1-1. It was Soboslai missed the penalty. I just feel like Liverpool was playing like they had already won the match. When you're playing soccer and you just aren't letting the opposition do anything. So now you're just doing some extra passes to the back, some quick cuts, some now you want to add some flair to everything, but you realize you're only up 1-0. That's how they started the second half. They were just playing like they had already won. They were getting shots, they were getting chances. They're like, I wouldn't even got to try and we'll still beat this team. And then sure enough, some stupid counter, and then now we get scored on. Now it's 1-1. Now we got to try. Now they sit back, and it's going to be hard to score. And 20 minutes, 30 minutes go by. Now the game stayed 1-1 when it could have been done and over with in first half. It could have been 3-4-0 first half. But yeah, that's something between the manager and the players. I knew if I was that manager, I'd be look, it's 0-0 every time we score. I don't care what you guys think. You don't play like you've won games. It's a Premier League. Anything could happen. So poor, poor. Even though they're undefeated, the most depressing undefeated form of games, and we're lucky the whole league is shit because they're still in top four. So still in contention for Champions League. So that's all good and dandy. Arsenal title was it Nottingham, which is quite surprising considering Nottingham is like 16th, I think. Um, so yeah, they're pretty down there, even for a first place team. But we have seen Arsenal struggle against some teams lately. They'll get a a tough win against Wolves. Even even against who was it last time? I'm not sure. They won 3-2 against a team that should have been smacked, and they're beginning some lucky wins in my opinion. So I think this one Nottingham just um no luck went towards Arsenal side, and they held a draw. So shout out Nottingham, doing the work of the people. And yeah, so we'll see how the Premier League continues on. I don't know what your take is on this, Durs. Is it the league shit or is it just tough? What do you think?
I think just the Premier League is such a well-rounded league. I mean, even teams from the bottom of the table like Wolves could get points from teams in the top. It's just super competitive. Everybody has a good enough squad to compete in Europe, but this league is just so tough. I mean, Arsenal, the last two games in the Premier League, Liverpool, Nottingham, 0 goals, tied 0-0. Something's definitely not cooking offensively. Um, they did play some bench against Nottingham. I think in hopes to save the legs for the Inter Milan game, which is obviously going to be a tough match in the Champions League. It's going to be a crucial game for Arsenal if they want to make sure that they stay top of the table. This Inter team, which in the last season made it to the Champions League final, but this season, I mean, in the league, in their personal league, they're in Italy, they're first place. They're kind of making amends for last season that they lost the league to Napoli. They're in pretty decent form under a new coach. And, defensively, they're one of the best teams in the world. I think Arsenal are as well. So it's going to be a very, very good game to see. I think Arsenal, to be honest, I think a tie is good enough because after that, they have a team, with all due respect, from, I want to say, somewhere in the Middle East in the Champions League. I forget where they're from, but it's a definite comfortable win. So I think Arsenal, to be honest, if they go for the tie and they get the tie, that's basically a win. Because after that, they just have that team. The team that they have to
Mhm.
play is sitting last place. It's Kairat Almaty. I don't know if it's Israel or Kazakhstan. So, yeah, like I mentioned, they have this Inter game. Then they have a game against that team from Kazakhstan. Arsenal, I think, needs to work offensively. What we've seen from them this season, I don't think is good enough. Especially when you see, I mean, we could talk about it later when we talk about the Champions League. But as far as the Premier League, I think Arsenal definitely needs to do better offensively. I think overall, um, they're not. I mean, Man City has 45 goals this season. Arsenal has 40. It's mostly Arsenal's defense that's kind of carrying them into these wins, these draws. But like I mentioned, their offense really needs to be bolstered in some shape or way. I think they have the players for it. I don't think it's the players. I think it's the tactics. Maybe other teams play too defensive and they can't figure out how to break that low block. But at the end of the day, if you want to be champion, you got to be able to win against teams that are aggressive, that are defensive, that are holding the ball in the midfield. So I think overall, this Premier League has been a bit underwhelming as far as results. I mean, I think the peak of Premier League was that season when Liverpool and Man City. I think Man City got 101 points and Liverpool got 99 or something like that. That was peak Premier League. We had two teams just unstoppable. But this season, it's very much who could fumble the least amount, right? I mean, we're halfway through the season, 50 points, a little bit over halfway through the season, and Arsenal's at 50 points. Everybody else just seems to be dropping points lately. I mean, like you mentioned, Liverpool, the last 5 games, they've won one, tied 4, and they're in 4th place. So that's definitely not the standard that you would expect from all these teams. I mean, Man City, in the last 5 games, they've lost one, won one, and drawn 3. So yeah, it's just very inconsistent. I think Arsenal has the best form as of late, with 3 out of the last 5 games won and 2 draws. So I mean, I think it's justified that Arsenal's in first place, but I think it's more so the fact that everybody seems to be dropping points and not playing to the level that you would expect from the Premier League. But I think ultimately, like I mentioned before, it's just everybody is good in this league. Every team has an argument to beat the best team. Maybe not to be champion, but in every game you can't put your guard down because Wolves will drop points from you if you let them. So I mean, overall, it's kind of crazy to see the state of the league. I mean, we're talking about Manchester United, who has been the meme for the last season, but they're still in 5th place. I mean, um, they could technically qualify for Champions League this next season if they get that extra, the Premier League gets that extra position in to qualify for the Champions League. So overall, I mean, I think that it's a it's always going to be the one of the best leagues in the world, the best league in the world. But yeah, it's kind of difficult when you see all these draws and losses from the top teams.
Mm.
But that's just football, you know?
Very true, very true. And with a very competitive league, you are gonna have you can't be in perfect form all the time. Can't be City Liverpool all the time during that era. And the true way to really see if this league is really that good is when playing other teams from other leagues, which you do in the Champions League, which we're back in time for game week 7. And yeah, I think Arsenal's first place on that as well, being undefeated. Remember, first place doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna win the league or the cup. Look at Liverpool last season, and then yeah. So for game week 7, not many big games. The only real big one I could kind of see is Arsenal Inter. That's going to be a good one. Two defensively solid teams going at it. Let's see who's got the top. I think Arsenal's got this. Inter has been. They're always going to be a good team. They just with the new coach this season, all this and that. I just think Arsenal's has a more solid foundation. And then you have BVB and Spurs, battle of the mid, but could be a bit entertaining. But yeah, Spurs has been so shit, man. I don't know what that was going on over there, but yeah. Any games you're looking forward to in this Champions League game week? There's
Yeah, you kind of mentioned them already. We got the Arsenal Inter game. I think this is going to be the best game of this match week. But then, like you mentioned, Borussia Dortmund, Tottenham. I think that's the most competitive game as far as like the other ones. All the other games kind of seem like a mismatch, and you get those kind of weeks with the Champions League. But this Borussia Dortmund versus Tottenham game is one that kind of appeals to me the most because of I guess you could say the hierarchy that they have just based on the name of the teams that we're going to see. Borussia Dortmund, one of the better teams in Germany. Tottenham, one of the bigger clubs of England. But I think the form is kind of what kind of screams to me the most. I mean, we see Tottenham in the league. The last 5 games, they haven't won a game. Um, in all competitions, they haven't won a game in the Premier League since last year. And something seems to be going off, with their coach. You would expect this Thomas Frank guy to come in and really do uh, better things than Ange, but they're sitting right now at 14th. They're sitting 14th. They're obviously safe from relegation, but that's nowhere near where you want to see the Tottenham team. And then you have Brentford, his old club, at 7th. So, yeah, it's not obviously something's not working right now at Spurs. They just got in. I think one of Klopp's old assistants or Arne Slot's last assistant. He brought him in, and so maybe they'll do better things now. They did bring in Conor Gallagher from Atletico Madrid. So I mean, we'll see what happens. But it kind of really this game really calls to me because of the fact that we're seeing a struggling Tottenham, and we're seeing very very mid Borussia Dortmund. I mean, if you look at them in the league, they're second place, but by how much? I mean, there's no shot of Borussia Dortmund competing in that with Bayern Munich. So it's going to be a very, I think, level game where we're going to see two teams kind of at the similar level compete. But I mean, it's the Champions League. Anything can happen. I'm leaning more towards Borussia Dortmund just based on form. But I don't know. And then the Arsenal game and Inter game, I think I don't have the most faith in Arsenal right now offensively. I feel like they're struggling right now, tactics wise. They can't break down defenses, and they're going to play against a team who's very, very, very good defensively. So it's going to be difficult, I think, for Arsenal. It'll be a good test. I mean, if you want to see it that way, it'll be a good test. But I think Arsenal has to avoid loss at every I guess at any point of the game. I mean, I think that they need to play this game more defensively than offensively, which is kind of going to lead for a less of a spectacle of a game. You're not going to be seeing, like the Inter versus Barca in the semifinals where the games were ending 4-3 and goals were coming in the last minute. I think this is going to be a very 0-0 kind of a game, very tactical game. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think, like I mentioned before, if Arsenal gets the tie, they're basically guaranteed first place in the Champions League, which we saw last year how much it influenced or helped Liverpool in the transfer market. So all in all, I'm going to say Champions League for this season. It looks like Arsenal's going to run away with it as far as the group stage.
Looking good, yeah, for Arsenal. That's true. You do get a lot of money for finishing first place, so that's kind of the incentive on that. Which I mean clearly helped Liverpool a lot. So yeah, 2 more game weeks before we have playoffs, which I'm really excited for. I think we're ready for that. Some top tier teams just going at it. But yeah, besides that, I mean, I think we've covered all the spots for now. Let us know your thoughts, your opinions. Who you think is going to take the Champions League? What's good? Is Arsenal going to take the league? If you think Real Madrid, should they keep Arbeloa? Should they look for someone else? Should they go back to Zidane? So much going on in the world of football right now. That's why we love it, and that's why we're here week in, week out to give you these videos. So yeah, if you enjoyed any of it, leave a like, subscribe. You don't have to. Actually, don't subscribe, bro. Don't even subscribe. Don't even look at it, bro. Don't even look at it. Click out. Click out of another video, bro. And then, yeah. Anything you want to tell them before we leave?
Arriba las Chivas. We're taking the league.
That's for another episode. We don't want to jinx it yet. So, top of the league. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.